And it's no good clicking in there, Mr. Mott, because that is not what we're working from. So obviously we have the GameCube, and I bought it off eBay for 25 quid, just the console itself, and it was sold as not working. So when I got it, I connected it up, and the meter went absolutely mad. You can still hear the playback. Oh Lord. Oh, desktop audio. I'll take the desktop audio down. What about now? Hopefully that should be better. Yes. So let's put the light back on again. I don't know how much you can see there because we are on overhead, and we're just not under the camera, and the camera needs to be transformed. Hang on a minute. Overhead cam. I need to transform that, and I need to do that. That's better. So it's moving with me now. Excellent. Yes. Okay, anyway, we won't be probably on this for very long because I have spent some time on it, and what it boils down to was the overhead cam, desktop back here again, and why are we not seeing the desktop now? Oh gosh, bring to top, order, move to top. And we're not seeing the desktop because I haven't got it opened up. There you go. It's because I haven't got it opened up. How stupid is that? And yes, no power. Plugged it in. I put it on 12 volts, limited it to 2 amps, and it wanted all of that and more. So I shut it all off, and I stripped it all down. And when I strip things down, I always take lots and lots and lots of photographs so that later on I can do some kind of document with it. So can we see that? We cannot, because it's the desktop only. Okay, so we have to quickly add in a window capture, Windows, and then press that, select window to capture, and then hopefully Explorer's pictures taken. We've got that. Windows Photo Viewer. Okay. And then hopefully, okay, you should now be able to see that. And let's open that out a bit more. And we'll take it across to this. I have got a dummy battery, by the way, on the way for my Nikon 7200, which I will have overhead instead of the Huawei P30 Pro. Hopefully that should then give us better pictures. So I'll just blast quickly through these. Pictures, 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 more pictures. This was the thermal cam underneath the processor, which I thought was a problem at the time. It wasn't. And I thought that I was having problems because the processor was on, until I figured out that I was feeding the 12 volts straight to the plug and not through the switch, and I was being stupid, which was nice. This is what they look like when you're at the bottom. Ignoring that again. This is the power supply board, which I initially thought was the problem. Having gone all the way to the bottom. Yeah, I know. Shut up. And again, lots and lots and lots of pictures. I'll just blast through those quickly. So, having done all that, I then put it back together again. Caps will need replacing, but they are all okay for now. And Sorry if I'm giving anyone a seizure. We're just going through, putting it back together again. And so when it was all back together, sorry, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. When the DVD drive was not plugged in, I pressed the power button, and to my surprise, everything came on. Orange light came on, 1.87 amps or something like that, and it stayed on. So I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe I've been stupid and something was touching something somewhere. So I put the DVD drive on it, pressed the button, and off it went again. So I took the drive apart because it's the only way you can get to the PCB, and which is why we're now going through loads and loads of photographs of me putting it back together and then taking it apart. And we will get there in a minute. And then, as you might have guessed by now, I accidentally hit the burst shutter, which is why we just went through loads and loads of them. And then I got that on the thermal cam, which I think is the 5.5 volts to 3.3 volts regulator. Was it Chris or Stuart? Stuart had a quick look at my post on Chill's Discord server where I put the photographs to try and find something similar, because I did an image search, came up with nothing. Common fault. I have absolutely no idea. Like I said, this is my first GameCube I've taken apart. But I thought, no power, it's got to be fairly easy. So it is this components that you see glowing like a cherry. That is what is lighting up and causing the problems. And that is what I have to get a new one of. So that kind of spoils the GameCube thing for now, because I have to source that and then find another one. And if anyone can source that and post it in Chill's Discord as a direct link instead of having to look for it, that would be appreciated. But I have taken it off, and it is sat on a bit of tape in front of me, as we can see if I put the scope over, and we'll go to the scope. If I can then come in focus, and it should be, where are we? No, it shouldn't be there, Shaz. It should be there. So these two caps here yeah, no, back to there, and that is where it should sit. Couldn't find anything else wrong around it, but obviously if I'm going to redo that, I might as well get new caps and everything at the same time to make sure that I don't have a further problem. So my question is, I don't really want to put the cap back on in front of you on the MacBook. That's quite scary. And it's something I don't know. So yes, I will be Pitco. I'll be changing the caps on it as well. And this is the thing I have here. Everything I've done up till now has been something that I know about, which is why this has been so daunting to come on and do something that it is pancake day today. Yep, I had some this morning. To do something that I don't actually know is an entirely different ball game for me. Why is that so out of focus? That's awful. Is that any better? Come on. Delay. Yeah. Any minute now. Is that me? That's me pressing on the desk, by the way. I've got to do something about that. So I can do things I know about. I have a 2DS XL that needs the top screen changed, as I said. Or I have a 3DS XL that we can have a crack at, see how it goes with this awful overhead camera that I have. And we'll go back to that. Yeah, so I shall leave it a minute so that you can catch up in chat, or I can catch up with you, and you can tell me what you'd prefer to do. Or I can stop, that's fine, and I can run away. And I can't even see myself in the camera. Why is that? Everything seems to have come to a halt. I can see myself over here with a huge delay, waiting for my hand to come out. There you go, there's my hand out. So that is how long the delay is. That's ridiculous. Yes, it does look like it's frozen. Face. And shut that down. What else have I got running that I don't need running? Let's shut that down. Free up some memory. And then you're going to come to face. Deactivate. And then reactivate. I do not know if that will make a difference. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Ugh, no, not that one. Back to there. Ugh, that's horrible. Okay, I'm back to here again. Where we are not too in focus either. So basically, although I'm not as nervous as I was last time, everything is in a bit of a state at the moment. So I do apologise. Can we get any closer? And how's the focus? Continuous. There you go. Sexy cam, my wish. So yes. So what do you peoples want to see? Hello Ruggers, how you doing? And thank you, by the way, everyone, for coming into this disaster of a channel. No, you can't like your own channel, Chaz. That's just too hedonistic. So, back here, somewhere. See, even that is awful. I don't know where it is. There you go. Let's just shift this out of the way, because I can't do anything else with that at the moment. Like I said, I have been doing a few... My face cam is still not going, is it? Why not? I have been doing quite a few bits of repairs. But like I said, I've just been too terrified. And I know it's stupid, I've already done streams to get on stream. And things like this going wrong as it is at the moment is definitely not helping. I don't know why, what's taking up the resources. Task manager. Only 20% of the memory is taken, only 24%, in fact less than that, of the CPU. There is no reason why the face cam should not be working. In fact, it's just switched off. The face cam has left the building and the dog is barking. So yeah. And we're back again. Overhead. But it's not showing up there. How very weird. Nothing. And it's gone off again. It's struggling for some reason. Let's close that. Streamer bot is there. Yeah. There. See, that one's working fine. That's the one behind me. Oh look, there's a bald spot. How nice. But the quality off of that is awful. And then we go back to here, where I can see myself moving on the face cam. Here, rocking backwards and forwards like an idiot. Oh, it's so weird watching this delay, but then when I come back into face cam, am I there now? Oh, right, okay. Who said that? Michael, I think you were right. That seems to have worked. And we're back. Somehow. Yep, thank you. Yep, full spot cam is working great. And it's only getting worse. So, PLD meter has disappeared. Why has the PLD meter disappeared? Because I haven't got it on top now, because I changed the other one to be on top. Order, move to top. No, yes or not. Then back over here, back over there. No, it really doesn't want to. Oh, and even the light's playing around now. Thank you. Oh, God, that's too bright. So we're not actually, what we're going to do is, right, we're going to sit here and muck about with OBS for the rest of the stream and get absolutely nothing done. That would be great, wouldn't it? PLD meter, why are you not working? Let's unplug. Not that I need it, but I hate having blank spaces there. So, yeah, it should be working. It's there, and it is. So what we'll do is, it's just like Russie's stream all over again, isn't it? I've lost it. Have I lost it? That's it. Oh, yeah, it's shut down actually. That's why it's just stopped. Probably my fault somewhere. There you go. That wasn't difficult, was it? Here we go. Rossi, just shut up. Okay, you're all welcome to roast me. I've been bad enough over the streams previously, so at this point, you know, it's it's shots fired and no shots back. Oh God! Right. So now we have the overhead light on my cam. Let's just let's just turn that off. We don't need it on. Yeah, is it time to go home yet? Let's come back to Droidcam and zoom out because no one can see anything. Oh God! Move the microscope because we don't need that. And the transform's all round the wrong way again. Why is that? Hang on. Let's look on here. OBS is fine. No. Okay, that way. Yep, and that way. Okay, it's working. It is working. I'm just nowhere near the target. Don't focus on my skin. Oh Lord. This way is wrong. That way is. Where are we? So overhead cam. Yes. Just bear with me, people, or go and watch somewhere else. I wouldn't blame you. Transform. Vertical. There's that right. That way. And that way. Yay! At last. I also need to get a bigger, a longer, sorry, modify. No, that's wrong again. Oh my lordy lord. This way, that way. No, it's wrong. I've got to stop looking at the droid cam because I'm getting mixed up between the window before the transform and the window after the transform. Yep, grass puddle, enjoy your lunch. A lot more exciting. Yes, and good, because why is it that way? Okay, I need to switch in OBS. Now they're going that way, yes. And we're coming back towards me, yes. And we're going left, yes. And we're going right, yes. Excellent. Moo. And I've got to stop watching that screen. But it's nice to be able to see the chat, and the chat on the big screen is far better. So if there's any problem with focus or anything like that, let me know. What we have here is a Nintendo 2DS XL that I put together out of bits. That has gone flat entirely, because why not? If that was working, things would be good, and there'd be no problem, would there? And it's all over the place with this one at the moment, which is why the wire is hanging out the back, because I got a bit hacked off with it. And you know, let's not be together for streams. I'd be asking too much, wouldn't it? I have no words, honestly. This is just whatever it is, it's one of those. Oh look, there's no battery in it. I wonder why it's not coming on. Jeez. Okay, so hopefully, fingers crossed, the battery will have charge that I've just put in it. Please, yes, thank God for that. Yes, okay, Rusty, thank you. Always helps to have a battery in it. And I'll let the battery out. Come on. And no, not the battery. No. Battery says no. Let's plug the charge in. Hope to God it charges. Yes, it does. Try turning it back on again. Taking notes. Battery with power helps. Don't move it, Chaz. Do not move the console. Do not move it. You've moved it. Okay, so we have blue light. And then off. Have I disconnected everything? Again. Just excuse me for 2 seconds, peoples. Okay, at last. I'm holding the battery this time. I hate. I'm holding the battery on. And oh, what's going on there? And nothing is happening. Not on the bottom or the top screen. Whereas I know to start with, it was just the bottom screen that was okay. This is embarrassing. You're letting me down here. So the Wi-Fi light has come on. The power has come on. You probably can't, or you might be able to see it actually. The top screen has come on, but it's sort of leopard spotty. Hang on. Might be able to, there you go. So you can see that the backlight has come on the top screen, but the top screen is absolutely cacked. I have no idea why the bottom screen data isn't on. unless I've not put the ribbon in properly. Ribbon looks okay. Well, you can see that there's another tip. You can see from the back. No, you can't see anything. You can see that the backlights are on through the cover, and that is why they normally put a thick layer of black double-sided tape on the back to stop the lights from shining through. But normally I leave clear stuff on there because I think it looks really cool with the back lit up. Why is the bottom one not coming on? This is the question. Blue light, no boot. It says on the board. Blue light, no boot. But I don't believe that, because what I have is Wi-Fi light on, blue light on, backlights for the screens on. And the top one I know is knackered. I have to change it, so we will do that regardless. And then it will be interesting to see if the top screen comes on and lights up properly, because if it does, then that means that the top bottom screen is also faulty. I thought I put a new screen in there, but obviously not. So let's take that out of there for now, and we'll take the battery out. I'm trying to get things so that you can actually see what I'm doing. And there's the top. Try not to run over everything else as well. So yeah, so you've got 4 screws. Once you get past this top cover, what I've just put to the other side so you can't see it, this is held on here with quite strong black sticky tape on the back of it. So what I do, without treating you like idiots, because you're not, is I put a load of IPA in, because if the screen, yes, Mark, yeah, you can get both screens fault. It's unusual, which makes me wonder if that's the case or not, or whether the motherboard is faulty. I'm not really bothered about that, because we're just going to show how to change the top screen, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I can proceed on further with it later, and it'll give me something to do. We have some content of some sort. So yeah, top screen's knackered. You're not worried about mucking it up. So you pour a load of IPA in around the top cover, or you heat it up, or you just say, well, they're only a couple of quid off of Ali, I'll buy a new one, and you just break it off. But no, I had to do that to start with, because I wasn't that good at taking them off, and they'd always break. Yeah, I am in the camera, only just. We're over here, and I've glued the camera on, so the camera is glued to the telly. I cannot move it over, so I'm going to have to move myself over. There you go. All swapped, all bad parts. Well, it's possible, but the bad parts will be from different consoles. I've got so many bits, Grass Puddle, of 2DS XLs, where I brought them and the motherboards have been bad, and I didn't have the available equipment to go through them properly, check with them with a thermal cam, look at the voltages. It's not a GameCube, and you are absolutely right. Normally that would have been Blind Bodger pointing that out. Thank you very much for that. Yes. Thank you for that. So yeah, so load of IPA around this, and then use a credit card and a spudger just to come in under the edge, and then gently work your way all the way down. And it is possible to do it without breaking it, with patience and time. And this is actually a new one that I've got, because I've got quite a few other kits. I've got, where are we? Yes, I have about 4 orange kits, and I have also one which I don't know if I'm going to keep for myself yet, I've also got this really pretty one, purple and silver, that I got off a Valley. It's quite nice looking, and I haven't been able to bring myself to use that yet because it's just too sexy. So we'll put that back in there. What have I got in here? I think I've got some more screens in here. So I have got so much everywhere that I kind of tend to lose where I am with things. That's another one of those. Okay, right, put it back in. Stop getting distracted by the shiny stuff. And stop throwing it across the floor. It's not just you, Russ, see? But it is more fun laughing at someone else doing it than it is me. So, we is going to take the screws holding this together, and you have to be careful as well with this, because taking the screen out, if you're not careful, you can break the frame. The screws are tiny for this, by the way. Let's turn the light up a bit. And put the scope over, because I don't have a Stream Deck, so I have to rely on me switching things backwards and forwards in OBS. So, where are we? That's the screw for the top. There's 4 of them, and there's a really small pin. Hang on. That's a sewing needle, a magnetic sewing needle apparently. So as you can see, they are quite small. Yeah, yep, thanks Russie. Back to overhead cam. Yes, okay, so we'll take the rest of the 4 screws out that are on the top, which you can't see because there you go. Pitco, you've missed absolutely nothing. It's just one disaster after another. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Sorry, I haven't got the music done yet. Oh, phone door's just going. Hang on. You silly sod. Opens the door and whacks the dog in the face. It's quite a lot how PCDD streams go as well. Okay, so we are going to take... You don't need to take everything apart to do this bit. It's a little bit more complicated, but you can take the top off. Unlike the 3DS XLs and the 3DSs and everything else, to take the top screen off, you can just take it off as a complete separate thing. So we're going to take the backlight out. No, we don't need to take the backlight out. We're going to take this ribbon out. This is the top screen ribbon here. Both the backlight and the data ribbon. And I'm not going to worry about it too much because it's already wrecked. And you can see, again, I'm going to put this under the scope, which is way over there at the moment, just so that you can see absolutely nothing. And this is how the ribbon is wound to come through. So it's wound this way around, and then the Wi-Fi aerial comes from up through the middle of it, which you can't see because it's over here. Teeny. just there. I don't have them enabled. On my screen it says clip at the bottom. If I don't have it enabled, then tell me where it is and I'll enable it. It's not a problem. Does it really not say clip on yours? That is so weird. How do I enable it then, Russ? Waits for Russ to type. So yeah, so we're here. We're going to take the camera and mic securing bracket out because we need to. When you set up the streaming studio, there's a checkbox. Oh, okay, that's quite upsetting. Channel content. Okay, my apologies for that. Waits for the chat to come back. I will make sure that's enabled next time. I wasn't even aware that it was disabled by default. And yeah, absolutely. And there is always the Windows thingy if you really feel the need to. So yes, we've taken the top ribbon out of the connector, and both the backlight and the data go through this one connector just here. And I'll take you over here while we're here. This connector here is from the camera. No, that is wrong. Absolutely wrong. No, it is right. I'll get there in a minute. It's been a while. This one here is for the cameras that are in the bottom of the case. And you have to connect that up at the same time you put the bottom of the case back on. This one here is the camera that is in the hinge, just here. And then the microphone, I seem to have moved it all the way over. The microphone cable is the red and black one just here. So we'll continue taking that screw off because I got squirreled again. I'd like to say I'm more organised than this normally, but I think probably once so far I've been more organised. And we're just going to take this out of the way for now. Leave that there. It's easy with the bracket off. You don't have to take the bracket off, I just find it easy with the bracket off. And you'll probably swear in a minute when everything else drops out because I've taken the bracket off. And then you need to open the case, which you can't see because you're not on the right scene. So that's nice. But I'm not going to get stressed about it. Here we go. Any minute now, we should be coming back in focus. Okay. So we are here. And you want to open the case all the way up and then forward by a click. And then you should, he says, can you see what I'm doing? You can't, can you? You should be able to just get something on the barrel. I'll take my fingers out of the way so you can see it. Where the tip of my scalpel is here, and work it out with it in that position. If you have it in any other position, the barrel will not come out. So you need to open it all the way up and then back one click, and in that position the barrel will drop out. again, the quality of all of this will be a lot better when I've got the other camera set up. You won't be looking at grainy pictures then. And then after we've done that, what you'd normally have to do is fold all this back up. I suppose I ought to do it because, or just because. And obviously this is the trickiest part, because you need to go back through the barrel like so. Can we still see it? We can. Okay. And then you just angle it like this, and you can pull the bottom part out from the top part. Now, I thought that bit I was going to struggle with, to be honest. Let's bring you in a bit closer again. Just moves a little bit closer. Okay. There you go. And we'll take the barrel off so I don't lose it. And then you need to go around the cover with your spudger or something similar. And now I need to come out again. I really need to improve this setup. So that you can see everything. And whether you use a plastic one or something else, can you see? Switching back to here. What I really need to do is to go through my lives and my live streams, I should say, before someone gets sarcastic, and clip them down so that we can avoid all of this and people can get some useful information out of them without having to watch all of the idiocy. And just bear with me here. Clicking off a little bit here. As I said, this is the bit that makes me very nervous, because it really is easy, because it's very narrow at the top, and it'll either break here or it'll break by the hinges down here. The other thing, by the way, is just here is a plastic insert in there, and if the top is broken and you're changing it for another, make sure to take the plastic insert out, because I didn't for the first 2 or 3 I did, and then you couldn't get hold of them for love or money. I had to pay a lot to get some shit from America. Now when you get the kits, I think they actually include that plastic insert with them, and it's the bit that the barrel locates into with the keyed end on it. So yes, yeah, they are very raw, very, very raw, Russie. Very, very, very raw. Still struggling to get it out. Come on, you can do this. And then you have to slide it, because there's locating tags just there at the back, so you can slide it forward off of them to take it off, which I can't do holding it up. And we do not want to break things, so careful please, Chaz. My God, is it hot in here? How did he get this hot in here? Okay, and we're off, I think. Or does it clip back down in other places? There you go. So we're here. I'm gonna camera. Come on. So you can see, can you see? Focus, focus. God almighty, come on, focus. Right, okay. I'm not moving that much. Honestly, it's exaggerating. Come on, over, over, over. A little bit more. Waiting for the delay to catch up with me. Come on, over. There you go, it's a huge lag. So you can see where the ribbon cable goes through, and there's a slot in this bit here, and then you can see the routing also of the Wi-Fi aerial wire, and this has to be stuck down, so it folds over and then sticks down along here, and there are two locating. I'm going the wrong way because I'm looking at the wrong bit. Come on, catch up again. There are two holes in the ribbon that match up with these two plastic pins sticking up here. And then going up here, this is where the Wi-Fi aerial board is, coming across. And this is where the magnet is that switches the console on and off when you open and shut the screen. And this screen, you'll see afterwards, because I'm probably going to have to break it to get it out, is really, really thin. And again, you have to be careful that you don't break the frame when you do it. And when you put the new frame in, it's difficult to get it to stick down properly until everything's back together. It is an easy console to work on, and it's not an easy console to work on because they designed everything cheaply on it. So when it works, it's good. When it doesn't, it's just not. So again, where are we? Let's get back in there. So to take this ribbon out, and I'm hoping you can see this, I'll hold it up a bit more. You would uncoil the ribbon and then take it back through the slot. Now I'm not going to be able to do that successfully at the moment because we're stuck down. So I'll take it off of the sticky bit. Take that out there like that, and then you just slide the cable through, which you might be able to see if I hold it still for you for a minute, like so. Okay, and then this is the fun bit. You could all get a bit bored here because this tends to take a while sometimes. I'm going to flood it with IPA. Suppose if you want to take, if the screen was okay and you wanted to try and put it in another top, suppose you could try the heating it method, but I've got to be honest, I have never had any success getting these screens out whole once they are stuck in, because they're just so thin. And I'm hoping, no, there you go, it's broken. And that's part of it as well, that's not all of it. As you can see, that's part of the LCD. And it's gone. So we're going to chuck that in the bin. And then I've still got this bit to get out. And I'm pouring IPA down my lap. That's nice then. So I'm just going to put loads and loads of IPA around, and then I'm just going to leave it for a minute. I'll show you how thin the screens are, because obviously I've got a new one over here. Let's wipe my hands off. So this is the screen, and if I turn it on end, you can see there's just nothing of it. Okay. I'll put that there then. So yeah, very, very thin, which is why they break easily, because people put them in their back pockets and then sit on them. End of screen. Or you've only got to flex it slightly, drop the console. They're really good. They have really big screens on. They're nice to look at. They're nice to use when they work well. As I said before, they are just fragile. And then hopefully go two ways. We can either push it forward and take everything off with the lens included. Obviously I have to be a bit more careful with the frame then as well. When I'm doing lives, I'm really aware that I have a Hampshire accent, because we all speak like that, you see, but not quite so much. I don't speak like that so much, but I do have the accent coming through when I'm listening to myself. So the magnet, I'm forever forgetting which way the magnet is in there. Okay, so when I take it off, I'm going to try. And they're really hard magnets, so I suppose I'll just put a bit of tape on it. Or I'd get a pen. It's only because I couldn't be bothered to move across to get a pen. I'll do that now. And just mark the magnet so you know which way around it's got to be. You can't see that, it's off screen. There you go, back on screen again. And then again just pry the magnet off, and you can put that back on once you put the new screen in. I'm going to leave the magnet there and put the pry tool back together. So we now have this, which I have to still take apart further without breaking the rest of it. So, yeah, absolutely different accents everywhere. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? As a nation that all comes from the same point, people that are all from the same genome and DNA, and we all wandered off and started making our own accents up. See, now that looks like, what's going on there? There's a small piece of frame there. What's that from? Where did that come from? Oh, I might find it when I put it back together. I've absolutely no idea at this point. You can't see it there. Any minute now. There you go. He's gone quiet. You're right, he has. I said it, as you all know, it is really, when you're doing it by yourself, you're not sitting there narrating it all the time to yourself, are you? You're sitting there quietly with your tongue stuck out, trying to concentrate on doing what you're doing. So, as has been said before, to sit here and narrate it, I mean, effectively you're being a teacher, aren't you? And it is a good deal harder. Oh dear, I shouldn't have said that. Yes, that is the sound of the remaining bits breaking. More IPA. And there you go. So that's the remaining. Why are you not seeing that? Come over here. That's the remaining front. The polarizer, I suppose. Woo! Which I've put in the bin. I hope that's okay, Pitco. So then we have this. And this is the tricky part. I'm going to reuse the sticky, hopefully. But as everyone knows, that has ever put screens together, getting it clean before you put the other bit back in is a flipping nightmare. Because you think you're doing really well, and then you put it together, discover there's a hair or something in it. With some consoles, most consoles, you can take it apart and have another go at it. If you get it wrong with one of these, you've got it wrong. There is no recourse, and it's staying like that unless you want to try and... Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? Unless you want to waste your screen, because ain't no going back together again, or ain't no coming apart again without breaking the screen, unless the sticky is really, really ineffective, in which case it's going to fall out. You've got a problem anyway. So I do not enjoy this bit, and it could take ages. Right, polish. Or I'd actually have some glass cleaner. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Let's use the glass cleaner on the glass. It's just like everything else, Michael. It's all practice. And I've got to be honest, even after the amount of these I've done, they can still come out badly sometimes. But I don't try and take them apart. I just list it. It's got dust in it. It's got hair in it. If you want to have a go and do it any better than me, feel free. Don't buy the console. Yeah, the missus is out at the moment, admittedly with a bad back. She's in Jersey from yesterday, and then she's coming back Thursday evening, just to get away from all of the everydayness. I'm still going to need to educate all the streamers to save the waste. You absolutely are. Maybe you could do a couple of streams about that. That would be good, wouldn't it? And I guess that's what you mean by educating, doing some streams. Shut up, Chaz. Yeah, especially Andy. Andy must have a gold mine in his little bin. I can't believe. Like I said, this bit takes ages. Because the minute you use the IPA on it, or heat, unfortunately, the goopy stuff goes goopy. Yeah. I'm listening to myself and I can't believe what I'm saying. Yeah. Nope, it's mice. I do hope this is interesting. At least, if nothing else, right, you've got a channel to talk to each other in for a while, as I said before. Oh, go and make yourself a cup of tea. Or I can perform the background noise again, can't I? Da 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 da. I'm going to cringe when I listen to this back. Do 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 do. Sorry, Chris. This is not looking any better. I'm going to have to swap methods. The glass cleaner is not shifting the goop off, it's just moving it around. Which is why I find that using the polish makes things a bit more slidey and shifts the stuff off easier onto the cloth. Excuse me, shaking things. Come out! Hey, at last. Use a clean cloth. If I had a clean cloth, I'd use one. This will have to do for now. Maybe when we've got most of it off, I'll consider searching for one. I've gone through with all of my range of t-shirts and things I no longer fit and cut them into bits and use them, and there's nothing left. I'm so poor. I'm so sad. Won't anybody help me? Do you get... No. It's a one shot. If there's any dust behind it, like I said, unless the adhesive is not good enough, in which case you'll be redoing it anyway, it's done. The screen is in there, and you can see quite clearly there's so much stuff on here. Once it's in there, the screen is too thin to try shifting again, which is why this takes so long, because you have to make absolutely sure. And as Michael said, you know, clean rags will help. But I'm not going to interrupt the screen now by the screen. I'm not going to interrupt the stream now by going off and trying to search for another one, because it could take forever. Because I can't say, Mandy, can you find me a rag? Because she's not here. So, is anybody else streaming tonight? If so, what are you streaming with? And I don't mean a camera. I got to laugh at myself. What? No, I can't think of the word now. What content are you going to be streaming if you are? Can't believe how large a delay there is in the Yep, just ran out of words. Oh, thank you, Jasamid. Thank you very much. Wow. Funny you should say that. So my daughter is moving back in with us with her boyfriend, because they tried to get a house, and the only way that they could get a house was to get a 40-year mortgage, or to go for one of those part rent part buys, which are just absolutely nightmares. Don't do it. The rent is hugely expensive. This is the UK, obviously, we're talking about, and there are service charges and everything. Even when you own the house outright, there's huge service charges and everything going on. So they're moving back in with us to give them a chance to save up enough to make a decent deposit. All that aside, where she used to live, Apparently, there's an OnlyFans woman there called Ruby Rose, I think it is. And she's got her own personalised number plate on the car, which is parked outside all the flats. There you go. There's an amazing little bit of trivia for you. One that I'm sure you go away and go, wow, you should have seen what I found out the other night. That is still rubbish at there. What's going on there? Googling. Apparently the car quite often features in the videos and things she makes. So she lives in Basingstoke. I don't know whether she... we're all looking her up now. I don't know whether that comes up in her profile. But yeah. Hang on. In fact... Because obviously no one I know is sad enough to do this. Let's go past all this lot. There you go. That's the car. It's quite a nice looking car actually. Not that I took any photographs, you understand, that would make me sad. We'll never talk about this ever again. Hey, Chris. Question I want to ask is, has anyone found anything yet? I wonder if there's such a thing as ASMR polishing. You have. Excellent. Yeah, I might have taken the photograph, but I wasn't. I won't say sad because I don't want you to think I'm calling you sad. You're not. But as a 59-year-old man who got told by his daughter there was someone there called Ruby Rose, to take a photograph of her car in the first place is a little bit creepy. To go searching would have been further, wouldn't it, really? Okay, cool. So, is that at all any good yet? I can still see some edges there. Yeah, no, still rubbish. I wonder if I've got any new screens. Lenses, rather. That would severely cut down on the time I'm taking here, really, wouldn't it? But would it be as much fun? Let's have a look, because I can always do this bit later. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. That's the point. Eek. I'm currently searching in the background for another lens, by the way. Just in case you think, well, this is an interesting... yeah, one of those. Run out of words again. And I don't know what your floor looks like when you've been streaming, but there's stuff all around me now. Not that one. Not that one. No, that's stuck down to something else. So, I guess I could use a black one maybe. And then use a black top on it instead. Yeah, I could do that. Bear with me, I will be back soon. Yes, absolutely. Disgusting, isn't it? Well, yeah, I've got these. I've got a lot of boards to mend for these with no schematics. It's the biggest problem with the 3DSs, 2DSs. In fact, quite a lot of the Nintendo stuff, even down to the Gamecube, believe it or not, there are no schematics. There are bits and pieces and people that have done like trimming operations on the board so you get where some of the voltages are, but there are no schematics that exist for any of it. And it makes it hard to fault find and to find what's going on, etc, etc. You're just repeating yourself now, cows. Yeah. I was going somewhere with that. Can't remember where I'm going now. In the middle of the picture, Chaz. Get that dirty rag out the way, Chaz. And then stop talking to yourself, Chaz. Where was I? Oh, that was where I was going. I remember now. Yeah, and I've got two of the new 3DSs, the smaller ones, but both of them have got board issues and need flashing. Possibly need flashing, or they might just be knackered. But I want to have a go at the flashing and everything, so I've brought all the bits and pieces for it. I'm going to see if we can write a NAND to them and get them back in operation. And then obviously I've got the 3DS XL that Josh sent me, that I'm sort of part way through repairing the board because one of the connectors came off, and then putting the connector back together again. Two of the traces came off and I had to repair that, and it's just generally being a pain in the backside. Yes, yeah, I know it is surprising considering everything else that's been leaked. Nothing about the 3DSs, 2DSs, Nintendo Gamecubes, as I said. And I keep asking in desperation, has anyone got anything? Nothing. Nothing at all. Right, so that is a new screen, but I need to put some tape on it. Now, do I put the tape on there or there? No, I suppose I better put the tape on there. Okay. Good evening, Ed. How you doing? You would have thought, wouldn't you, that somebody else more interesting than me would have been streaming by now. I think it's actually this bit really that makes it more difficult than everything else. As just the fact that you cannot take it apart again if you get it wrong, whereas with all the rest of them you can get away with it. What made me laugh out loud there, Michael, was I actually heard the tone in which you said that in my head. It's kind of like, oh boy! Screen replacement doesn't seem up my alley. A very, very small window repairman, yeah. Taking the backing off, and you can guarantee I'll put this together and there will be dust. I will have missed a bit despite trying to be careful. Look, there's a bit of dust there that's just leapt on the back of the sticky stuff. Okay, and theoretically let's get some clean, it's not toilet roll honest. Hi, Mrs. Bodge, how you doing? Is that okay? Difficult to tell. Yeah, that's true. Happy birthday, Russy Russ. Where am I? I'm off the camera again. Whoop, there you go. Happy birthday, Russy Russ. Okay. I mean, trying to get it clean. I know the moment I put the screen on, I'm going to go, oh my god, what is that? The dogs have gone upstairs in the bedroom and are sleeping on the bed at the moment. And I think they think they've got one over me because they're upstairs there. And they think I don't know they're upstairs in the bedroom. Is that on the front or the back? It's difficult to tell. Because now I might just as well have been using the original one. Yep, sulking, that's exactly it. She phoned up earlier on video, and the dogs were like, oh my god, where is she? Where is she? Apparently she'd with my daughter, they'd had a nice massage and were feeling chill, and apparently her back was feeling like a 2 out of 10 instead of more. So that was nice. Yeah, it is. You think when you take these plastic covers off of these screens, he says with it back off screen, off of the screen again, that it would be clean behind it. But I've made the mistake before of thinking, right, if I take this covering off really quickly and the one off the screen and then slap them together, there'll be no chance of any dirt getting between, and then discovering that it was actually dirty behind the plastic protector, which was a little bit gutting. So I'm really sorry. I know this is extremely boring, and the fact is that when I put it together, it is still going to have stuff on it. Now the question is, put it down without, okay. So, new screen. Oh my god, that's the new screen. No, that's the old screen. New screen. Picked up the old screen and thought, oh my god, what's happened? Right. Need to take protector off of this one. Come along. Like so. That bit is fairly clean. I can go with that. But then you can already see, just sitting still, not doing anything by itself, that there's already dust over it. Like I said, unless you've got a clean room or some kind of water vapour going up or something, you stand absolutely zilch chance. Zero is what I was going to say. I don't know where zilch came from. And especially as someone that suffers from dandruff, of getting the screen in without something not being right. That's good enough. I'm going to take this. Hey Squish, how you doing? All right. So hopefully, and again, you don't want to press too hard because the screens are so thin they will break. And at this point, we want to get the magnet back in again before I forget. Like so. And route this round in a minute. Route the Wi-Fi round in a minute. Where are we? Can you see? Can anyone see? Is it in focus enough for you to see this all? I mean, it looks okay on the screen in front of me, but yes. Right, okay. And then we want more double-sided sticky tape. Because what's going to happen is this has all got to be folded over, as I said. And then there are two locating pins when you've stuck it. I said there are two locating pins, Jazz. Where are they? Just there. So we're just going to slide this through. Oh, even I've got shaky hands now. And I can't see them. There you go. So that it would locate. That's out of focus, Chaz. Locate like that. So I'm just going to leave it a minute. There you go. And you can't see it. There they are. There's the pins and the holes in the ribbon. So you're going to have to stick it down so that they go through like that. It really is very, very, very delicate. And like I said, at this point, I'm really not worried whether the console works or not. I just want to put the new screen in and then we'll go from there. Let's move this out of the way. So I actually am not sure why I put I'm not sure why I put a bit of double-sided sticky tape down the edge there. That's just me with a failing memory. Because I only need the piece that's going across here. Because I have, as I said before, quite a lot to get rid of now, and obviously I can't because of financial restrictions, so I am not putting one of these together every day as I used to be before. So hopefully you can see there. Can't see anything. What's going on there? There you are. You can see the pins there, and that's where the ribbon cable mounts properly. Any minute now. There you go. Focus. Yeah. Hi Pico, how you doing? And then we're going to put the Wi-Fi aerial on. Slide it down into the guide, and that's going to come around the outside. And then I've got to try and remember, because you have to do this contrary to every other console, and I have to remind myself of how the cable goes through it. It's going to come this way, and then it's going to roll that way. It's also very easy to rip these cables. I've done one before, put it away in storage, got it back out of storage and discovered I'd trapped the ribbon and ripped it, which on a brand new screen really makes you happy. Okay, so I'm going to go down like that, and then around. Is that right or is it wrong? Down like that. Sure, that's right. I'm trying to keep everything in shot for you. Wind it around again. And again, because you've got to be able to get it back in the barrel and inside the plastic bit to put it back on again. Like that. Wait for the camera to catch up. Okay. And at that point, should be able to put the top back on. Is that no? No, ignore that. Do not put the top back on or you can't put the barrel in. Is that right? Or is that wrong? No, it doesn't matter. Put the top back on. But first, before we do that, we're going to clean the sticky stuff off. Because I don't want to be putting pressure on the top of this when the screen's reattached to it and risk breaking it. Is that most of it? Nearly. Because we don't want to leave bits of sticky on there or bits of old foam, do we, Russie? Okie dokie. So, forward into the tags. You heard it click when it came back, and then ever so gently press it into place so that you don't risk breaking the frame, and then we'll put the screws on the back. Is that the right one, I asked myself? Yes, I think it is. One screw. You've scrapped them. Oh, Pitco. Don't make me cry. If you get any of these, Pitco, okay, 2DSs, 3DSs, any consoles like this, no matter what condition they're in, they are of value to me. And I would be willing to reflect that value, obviously. As long as it's more than the value you get for scrapping them, because obviously that isn't financially viable for you. I kind of fell into it. It's, you know, yeah. Okay, so that's back on. We're not going to bother putting the sticky bit back on for now. But we can start hopefully reassembling it within the bottom bit. So this gets tricky again, because now you have to play it juggling. So we're going to put the wire through first, and this bit, it'll either happen straight away or it will take me flipping ages to get back in again. And also I'm trying to do it on screen for you as well at the same time, obviously. Get in. Yeah, anything, Pitco. Game Boys, 3DSs, 2DSs, anything along those sort of lines. Because I just enjoy having to go at fixing them, and even if I can't fix them, there's enough bits in them that mean that I'm going to stop talking for a minute. Come on, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Excuse me not talking for a minute. As I say, I either go straight in or I end up fighting with it. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. Or as MK would say, wait. There you go. Okay. Thank you, Pitco. No, Russie, I'm sorry. You could have a whole booming side thing here, Pitco. Because I'm sure with some of the stuff that people will be prepared to give you more money than it's worth as scrap. Obviously then it involves you having to pack things up and stuff, which is a bit annoying, I know. Right, next fiddly bit. Putting this barrel back in again. Because it's keyed, there is only one way it can go back in. Oh, come along. All the rest of the consoles have defined ways of getting the barrel in and out. I just made that look easy somehow. And this is the only one that you have to sort of prise out. So yeah, which means that that now closes. And when you put a piece of plastic back in here that holds the microphone in place, and then the bottom case on, because everything here can still move until the bottom case is on, and the bottom case holds this bit and the metal bit here from the metal barrel from coming out, because otherwise what happens is if you've got a broken one, that the metal barrel comes over slightly and then the thing wiggles about and rips the ribbon cable. And let's go to here a minute, just come in slightly. Honestly, that camera is so far off. Come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can figure this. Come on, it's not hard. There you go. And then we need to gently, ever so gently, pull the ribbon out, and that needs to undo one, because it's going to come out of there and then come up through this slot. The first one I did of these, I wound it the wrong way. That was the end of that screen. Although you should be able to do it without wrecking the screen. It was wound the wrong way, but I knew nothing at that point. And then open the case up, because opening the case up gives you more excess ribbon, or don't. Sometimes it's easier not to do that like that, and you can then, not in real time apparently. Are we on the screen still? We are. Persuade it to come up. I might actually have to shut the case again in a minute, because I'm making a right hash of this. And again, you have to be so careful because they rip so easily. There you go. Open the latch. Gently feed it in. He says. Latch is open. Missed it. And again, I would be doing all of this under the microscope for myself, and it would make it so much easier to look at. But I haven't figured out how to do that properly in OBS yet, because otherwise I normally use the specific program for the microscope. Right, I think that is in. So we close the latch, and then we can shut the case again. Get me back to here, and we're going to feed this through the digitizer cable. No, we're not. We're going to let it go and watch it spring back. And then there's some latches under there it has to come under, but we've got to put the plastic bit back in first. So the plastic bit this way round. Are we on screen still? Yes, we are. We're only just about in focus as well. Let's move it forward a bit so you can see what I'm doing. And then there's slots in this plastic bit. Ideally you want the wire to stay in the slots. Sometimes I have to poke it back through afterwards. because it just won't stay there. It's fiddly, it's horrid, but it's doable. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that afterwards because it's just annoying me now. And then once you've got this in place, once you've dropped it, nearly, pliers, no, not pliers, tweezers, where's me tweezers? Like so, come on, stay. Screws back in there again. Any diamonds? No, I'm not going to say that. I nearly put a clippable bit in there. Something about holes and being the correct one. I'm definitely not going to say that. Wow. So Pitco, when you throw them in the crusher, do you throw them in by grade, or does it grade them automatically? I mean, does it sort the ore out into particular bits and pieces? My elocution is amazing, isn't it? Look how well spoken I'm not. I'm going to feed it up through the guides here. Like so. Along. I'm using the wrong ones for this. Where's the other ones? Not those. There goes the camera. In case you didn't guess, the camera is just balanced on top of the printer. So that goes down through there, and then it's going to come, let's move back up here, poke out there just to annoy me, get back in there, here. I'm going to put it on the plug to start with. Because I find it easier to do it that way. And I'm going to stop at that point actually. I mean, not stop the stream, but stop what I'm doing for a moment, because I need to find the battery. I need to just see what's going on with it now before I bother going any further. Because if the top screen still isn't lighting up, there's no point in going any further with it at the moment. So put the charger back in again. Turn the light off. On switch. Staying on. Backlights are on. Wi-Fi light is on. Oh, there you go. Good Lord, I wasn't expecting that. Hang on. No, it's still too far out. So we actually have life. I wasn't expecting that. That took me by surprise. I have to be honest. Okay, so turn it back off again. Digitizer works. Take the charge plug out the back again. Take the battery out again, just for now. Just to minimise any chances of me cocking it up. Yes, it did surprise me, entirely squish. And then I need to put some screws in it, because apparently I don't have all the screws in. And the question of that is, where are the screws? I was expecting at that point, just in case you hadn't guessed, for the backlights to come on, for the Wi-Fi light to come on, and still nothing to happen. So I wasn't prepared. Not that one. I need to extend this bar, said the sheep, just so that I can bring the camera out, the other camera obviously, or either camera, further towards me. But if I show you the mount, where are we? Overview cam. Just don't mind me waving wildly about for a minute. Turn the light off, otherwise you can't see anything. But I've got this huge thing here clamped to the back of the desk. The desk is an awful mess at the moment, as you can see. It doesn't normally look this untidy, but yeah, soldering irons, tools. Anyway, yes, I'm squirreling again. So yes, I've got this, and then a sliding bar here. I need to extend the sliding bar just so that whatever camera is on the way of it, on the end of it, can come out a little bit further, so that it can look out over the desk properly, rather than halfway between the desk and the sliding shelf. Let's just lug that back over there for now. Without it falling off would be nice. Yeah. You think that's organised? Okay. I'll take that, definitely. So somewhere in here, hopefully, I'm hoping we have some screws. We definitely have some more batteries, so let's put that one back in. There's the screws underneath the batteries, of course that's where they are. One of these is more charged. And obviously all these bits are from ones I bought that haven't gone back together again. Yes, Mr. Reflex is fairly organised, I think. Cannot doubt that whatsoever. As is 8-bit as well. In fact, most of you, to be honest. Now, one of those. Excellent. Looking forward to it, Michael. That one. Want that one. But it is much easier when you're doing something that you know, rather than something where you're stepping into unusual territory. I mean, I have to say, to be honest, with the GameCube and with the Mac, although they're not back together and fixed yet, I was really chuffed that I found the faulty parts on them, the thermal cam, and I tried, trying in voltage injection, which is the first time with the Mac that I'd actually tried voltage injection, and finding the faulty element with the thermal cam, and then doing the same with the Nintendo after taking down the logical route, taking bits off, which is making it work, which is not making it work, and then using the thermal cam, and because obviously with the Mac, and you might have seen some of the write-up on the forums, there were so many places that had shorts because this one component went out to so many places that if you had to find the short itself, where am I? I'm over here? Am I over there? If you had to find the short itself by taking the parts off, you would have been there for forever and a day without using voltage injection, without using the thermal cam. You did not stand a chance. Yeah, absolutely. You have no room for mistakes. Yeah. So I'm really glad that I knew about that, having watched some of the streamers, obviously, and that I'd bought the equipment to be able to do it. So yeah, it is the thermal cam worth its weight in gold. Absolutely. Helped so much, and obviously I'm still I still haven't put it back together again yet, but I do have the components to do so, to check it, and I'm hoping it does. It will make me feel really good if I actually manage to fix it, because obviously all of this, I work on a lot of stuff. I always have worked on a lot of stuff, from cars, forklift trucks, but the really small electronics, the console sort of stuff, this is all still fairly new to me. If you don't include modding the Xboxes back in the day. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying learning new stuff and actually pushing myself again for a change. It's nice. Yes, Squishy. It's the Apple Mac Air 2020. I think it's a 2337 or something. Hang on a minute. I can look it up. I have it somewhere. Schematics, console fixes document. Yeah, it's the A2337, and it had no power, and that with and that was a capacitor that was faulty, but that capacitor, which is, where are we? The middle one, this one here, was faulty, which you can see I have I've taken it off. I didn't try anything after that, because I wanted to put the capacitor back in there rather than taking it off and trying it without it. But again, if you look at, this is all of the places that capacitor affected, all the places that read short because of that one capacitor. So without the thermal cam, not a chance. Yeah, and they all measure. That's right, and it's this one here on the schematic. So again, it is in parallel with the rest of them. I could have probably left it and tried it. I didn't want to. I just wanted to put the one that was working back in there, and then go from there. Yeah. And you can see even all around here, all around the CPU, all of those measured short. So yeah. Squirrel. So we need to try and fix this back in again. Then my eyesight is not good anymore. I'm not where you can see it either. Hang on. Yes, exactly, yeah. And as was pointed out by Zern, Josh, even if I don't fix it, I only paid 85 quid for it. And it will sell for way more than that just for parts. No, not at all. Although it did take me, because I bought it on Vinted, and this is not going well. Initially, I bought it, paid for it. It got to the end of the term, and Vinted cancelled it because I heard nothing from the seller at all, despite trying to communicate with them. And well, like I say, it just timed out. And about, what was it, 3 weeks later, I think, the buyer contacted me to say, I'm sorry, didn't get in contact, but I've been really ill. Would you like to buy it now? So I sort of like, and she said, I'll give you a discount if you want. And I thought, well, I'm not interested in a discount because it's already cheap enough. So I bought it again, and this time it got sent out to me, which was nice. So I took back the filthy feedback that I'd left them. It really wasn't very nice feedback. It was like, avoid this seller like a plague, and corrected it. And yeah, that's where we are. I need to get some new glasses. That's what I'm learning from this. Right, up there, through there, down there. And then that needs to be back in there. And there's also a tab under there. That's it, I think. Nope, no it's not. I'm going to need to swap screens a minute, sorry peoples. And does that help? No, it doesn't. Oh, no, not that one. This one. Now, what am I missing? There you go. See that little bit there? Supposed to go into that. Missed! I can't see your comments at the moment, by the way, sorry. There you go. And then, is that it? There, across there, through there, to there. Yes, I did. Yeah, I would normally do this under the microscope. Yeah, so that's there. And that's there. The volume button's alright. Blue light, no boot. I can take that off now. as you can see, this is from the collection of consoles I had, because I've put the sticker from the bottom case on there in case I ever got the board working again. And it's quite possible that I might have done something else to this board to get it working and forgotten what it is now. Normally I do, what's the word for it? I do diary everything. I've got an Excel spreadsheet with all of the bits and pieces on there. But it's been so long. Just take that off of there. Stick that up there for now. And normally, if they don't have stickers on them with the serial numbers, I normally then put Luma 3D on them and hack them so that I can then look at the info, look at the serial number, and print out a new serial number for it. Yes, yeah, and again, I can. It's not a secret. I can show that. Where are we? Come on, where is it? It's not that far back. It isn't there. Not that. Not that. Why is it all the way down here? There we go. A long time ago. 16th. That's not a long time ago. And then, so I'm going to need to do another hang about a minute. I need to do another video. Window capture, Excel, press, select window to capture, window Excel, OK, slide that over there. So I don't know how much you can see of this. So I got purchase expense, so the dates that I received it on, the date that I bought it on, the date I received it on, what platform I've got it from, the order number, maker, type, description given on wherever I bought it from, and a picture plus the price that I bought it from. Can you see this? I don't know if it's too far out. I'm hoping you can. Let me have a look at the window. Yes, you can. Okay. Right. So we'll go back to it. And then plus I then do the same with all of my AliExpress purchases, with a running total up here of the cost over the period of time that I've been buying them for. So, I mean, it goes back forever. And then I have, they then go onto the test check sheet. So as you can see, waiting listing, what they're waiting for, whether they're sold or not, and then the yellow ones are mine. And then summary of test when I put them up on eBay. This references the row that they're on, the checks that have been done on them, so that I then put that with the eBay summary as well. And then the sales, the final fees, where they then tie in by the order number and the serial number of the console and a picture of the console and the total amount, and so on and so forth. Yeah, and then also on that same spreadsheet I have a large amount of stuff that I've gathered from around the internet, for the for looking them up, checking voltages and things, tables taken again from the net, but then I've put them together my way, taken photographs and where they are, pinouts, what they look like without the connectors on, what they look like with the connectors on some of them, so that you can see where the traces go on boards that are destroyed, what each connector does, what it looks like, And then there's a little bit here for the 3DS, but not much at all. And then a spares list, but there's no spares at the moment. So yeah, that's that. So where are we now? We are here. What are you looking at? You're not looking at what you should be looking at really now, are you? So I've done that cable. I've put it back into place. I'm going to take the microscope out of the way. We'll go back up to overhead. The dog is licking my foot. And then we might have to zoom out a bit, I think, to be honest. Hello, doggy. How you doing? All right. Let's go back to here. So, Rowan. Hey, yeah. Can you? I don't know if you can see him. Of course, you can't see him because I haven't put it onto the overview cam. Hang on. Again, you can see how rubbish the overview cam is. Rowan. And there's the jealous one. And that's Flora. Yeah. And if they think there's any chance at all, much like Bronson, that they'll get a snack, they come running down. Excuse me, mucking around with this a minute. Good Lord. And we'll go back to overhead again. No, thank you. Right, I'm just going to have to. I'm going to have to pull the curtains because she barks at a reflection. All right. Do you want a treat? Come on then. Okay, yes. Yo, hello Sloth, how you doing? So where have we got to? Yes, there. So then we can put a battery back in again. When the manufacturers put these together, they put sticky tape, double-sided sticky tape behind the battery, which is really fun. And if you're not careful about how you do it, obviously the IPA can run down between the circuit boards onto the bottom screen and ruin the screen. Sloth, because I don't stream that often, or I haven't been streaming that often, and the more I didn't stream, the more difficult I was finding it to start again, and it just got bigger and bigger in my head. It was stupid, really, but that's how it was. So yes. Hello, Chill. How you doing? So where are we now? We don't have a joystick on there. So oh, what kind of condition is that in? Not really. We want one of those, and we want a washer. Oh, there it goes. Let's just put that down in there for now. And is that it? And then we want the right screws, and the screws for the joystick are really, really long. And again, I'm going to use the scope here to put this ribbon cable in. Because crap eyes. So I need to go to projector. Oh, that's a nice blurry mess. Right, so on the 2DS's and the new 3DS's, you've got two types of connector, and the biggest problem that people make for themselves when they do this is that you've got this one, which is the flip type, and then you've got this one down here, which is a slide the cable in type, and people think that this one is also a flip type, and they force this top up, and then it's knackered. The ribbon doesn't make contact properly again. So you have to be really, really careful with these, and they're also not pleasant to change either, because again, it's so easy to damage the boards. So yeah, there's that. Again, not looking at the chat at the moment because I'm so ribbon cable. Eek. Shaky hands. Come along. Shaky hand still. And then it goes in, when you see it go in, there's a hair there as well, we'll ignore that. It doesn't go in all the way. You'd think when you put that in there it would have come all the way up to the top. It doesn't, it stops there. And then close the latch. So we can come back out of that now. So overhead, take the scope out of the way, and then we're going to line this up like this, and if I'm really lucky, if I'm really lucky, what I'm going to do is going to open it up slightly so that I can get the button in the middle, because obviously without the button being in the middle it ain't going to work. And this is the same thing again. If you get it right first time, easy, or you can spend a while fiddling with it. Coming back to chat. Okay. PCDD, hello. The tallest of all ships. Now that either means I'm going to have to fill that in with resin at some point. I'm not going to do that now. We'll just go ahead as if it fitted properly, but the screw is actually a little bit loose, and I'm fairly sure I've got the right joystick because the size, I have. The sizes between the 3DS and the 2DS XLs are different because, you know, why would you keep it the same? Then we want the bottom case. And the speakers, there's your bottom camera. So obviously 1, 2. And then the speakers here with these teeny little plugs, which you can't see, so I've gone off screen there. And I keep looking at the big screen. I keep looking at the TV, and the TV's got about a 6-second latency on it. And the other side, and then obviously you've got your buttons and the switches. This is the only console that the switches aren't actually behind the buttons themselves. Like the 3DS and stuff have switches with the ribbon cables coming off, which you have to connect up when you're putting the back case back on. But on these, the switches are actually on the PCB. And another common fail point, because they are quite delicate, people tend to mash the buttons, and it because there's no metal, come on, there's no metal guard or anything. I'm trying to get this in focus. There's no metal guard or anything behind the switches to keep them in place, like the 3D, like the DS lights and things. So they push those and the traces off the board. So you end up having to replace that. I've had a few boards with the switches just mashed off of the board. So first of all, we're going to put the ribbon cable in. Can you see that? I think so, just about. Put the latch down. And then you're not going to be able to see this, I'm sorry, but I struggle with the speaker wires. And put those in, and I can never remember which way they're supposed to be in there. In fact, I can't see what I'm doing. Excuse me a minute. Okay, it's not that way. One. And they're so fiddly and small, it's difficult to either hold them with tweezers or with your hands just to get in there. And you can't see again because I'm off the screen. Is that it? No, I totally missed. I'll say it, I missed the hole. There you go. Come along, you're showing me up now. And I know they're fiddly and awkward, but again, the sense of accomplishment you get when they're back together and working and looking nice is great. I mean, the fact that your eyes are being wrecked in the meantime, neither here nor there. Right, that one's in. Okay, now I don't have the volume slide button yet. I need to find one of those. Do I have one of those? I've got an orange case. That looks pretty much like one. Okay. should have actually put this in before I did that, but it is possible to wrangle it in there. Maybe not easily. Right, okay. When you put the slide button in, oh God, you can't see that from there. That's tremendously bad. You can just about see that. When you slide the volume knob all the way to the front, it locks in place. And then you want to make sure that you also do the same with the volume slider potentiometer itself, that it's soldered to the board, because if you don't, what happens is you put the bottom case together and you snap the plastic bit off the board, off the slider, and you have to solder a new one on, and that is pretty annoying. And then press from the back. Just going to check that again. Press it there. Does it slide? It does slide. And then bring the over the front. This bit's quite. Is it over? It is over. And so I'm going to have to take this apart again anyway to redo it. So I'm not going to bother putting these 4 screws in. So you have obviously 1, 2, 3, 4 screws going here. Yeah, not complicated. I'm not going to worry about the fact that I'm not showing you those. And then this has got the wrong serial number on it, obviously. I'm going to have to change that over. And then the serial number, get your hand out of the way, Chaz, is just here underneath the flap for the SD card and for the games cartridge. Now if we go back to the top, we can put the top on it. Okay, who likes Quagmire? And then I'm going to reuse the stuff that I haven't used. Eek! From the screen. And I'll come back and trim that in a minute. Giggity again, I know. And then the remaining bits I'll fill in with the tape. Hello Alty, how you doing? These are Alty's favourite things to work on. Actually, I don't know, have you ever worked on a 2DS XL? And hi! I think he probably wouldn't bring himself to do it. You'd rather throw a bottle of JD in a ditch. Come on, let's get these bubbles out. That sounded wrong. Okay, trim it round here. And then there are 2 keyed bits for some reason that the top plastic piece has to locate into. So we'll just clean those out. Ish. Trim around here a bit. tape. Oh yeah, absolutely. Old consoles and things, absolutely. And also, I think Michael and also Reflex. No, Michael is Reflex. Michael and 8-bit. They both work on those sorts of things as well. Also, Chill and Relax, obviously. Yeah, I mean, yeah, old consoles and stuff I'd probably work on. I mean, I've probably used them all, to be honest, in my time. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think one of the first consoles I worked on, my dad-in-law used to be a fireman when I started dating my wife, and they actually had an old 2600. Well, it wasn't old; it was new then, but it was fire damaged, recovered from a fire. It was told he could have it, so I kind of did some repairs on that. Not that I can remember now what it was, but yeah. And I think he had like 2 games. One was Pong. And then obviously you've gone through, as I said, I think I've said it before. My friend had a Specky, which we'd spent ages on transferring code from magazines into the Specky, and that would only end up being something exciting again, like Pong. And then you can guarantee that you wouldn't be able to save the code to the tapes, and it would all go corrupt. My dad had my other friend had a C64. It took forever to load stuff. My old man used to mend CBs and stuff, and to blow the EEPROMs, he used to use a BBC Model A to start with, and then later on he used a BBC Model B. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There you go, Chris. Yeah. I wasn't even looking up at that point. I used to sneak upstairs when my old man was out. And he must have known, because for some reason he had floppy disks with games on, like the really early F1, Centipede, the one where the bloke with the big nose goes up the steps and down again. Can't remember what the name of it is. Yeah. And I always used to think that he didn't know about it, but he must have known about it. Yeah. My wife did me a teddy bear using ASCII characters and the numbers and stuff to make the shape of it. That's what she, yeah, just. I nearly missed that. Yep, so these, again, as I said, these have got keys on. One is circle, da da da. I'm not on the camera. Where's the camera gone? Circle that in, come on, focus. And then the other end is a slot. Just make sure you put it the right way around. Don't know whether that's in or not. That's what she said. Is that in? Doesn't feel like it is, to be honest. Cubert, that was it. Yes, Michael. Okay, that needs more lining up. Oh look, lots of flat batteries apparently. I need to charge those. So, bearing in mind I've still got to put 4 more screws and redo that screw bit. Is it going to turn on at all now? That would be destroying. No, that battery is absolutely flat. And I'm not taking it apart at this point to charge it. So I'm going to have to wait until the battery is... Yeah, it is. So that's where we've got to. Back together again. And working. And yeah, okay. Where are we? I'm going to stop, I think, at 8:15. Give us all a chance to go away and have some dinner and stuff. I might either stream more later tonight, or maybe I'll stream tomorrow for a while. I've got some friends coming over, but they're not going to be here all day. No, in fact, they're not coming tomorrow. I can stream tomorrow without a problem, without interrupting someone else, obviously. So, yeah, that's where we are with that. And I've got another one working, so, yes. No problem. Thank you all for keeping me company and putting up with that awful start. And yeah, let's say when the dummy battery comes through, I'll be able to swap over to the DSLR, and hopefully that'll give you a better top-down view then as well. So yeah. Oh, hey, stop pulling faces. Yeah, thank you very much all. And where are we? Stop streaming. Yeah. So I'll say I'll do an Andy, shall I? Can't see it. I'm on the wrong screen again. So we go 3, 2, 1, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, bye. Take care.